And we are back. I believe we should be up on the internet, streaming right now, live for you beautiful, beautiful people. And I am here with the folks behind Dreamfall Chapters. Guys, how are you doing today?
We're doing great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks
All right.
for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming by. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves to the wonderful people watching us on the interwebs right now?
On the interwebs, I am Ragnar Tornquist. I am founder and creative director at Red Thread Games.
I'm Martin Brusgaard. I'm the lead designer at Red Thread Games.
All right, cool. So let's start off with the easy question. What is Dreamfall Chapters?
What is Dreamfall Chapters? It is an adventure game. It is a sequel to the game called Dreamfall, The Longest Journey, which came out in 2006. It's a game for PC, Mac, Linux. It's a game that recently concluded a $1.5 million Kickstarter. And it's a game that's coming out in November 2014.
Nice. Awesome. So where does Dreamfall Chapters pick up?
Well, Dreamfall Chapters picks up right after the end of Dreamfall, The Longest Journey. Zoe Castillo, the star of Dreamfall, she was in a coma. Things had gone to hell. There was lots of cliffhangers, and we kept people waiting for 7 years.
Only 7 years.
Only 7 years.
Not quite as long as Duke Nukem Forever.
No,
so it should be okay.
we thought maybe we should wait a little bit longer, but then we thought, like, now let's do it now. Now is the right time. Now's the time. Yeah.
The
So
atmosphere is perfect. For it now.
Exactly.
So we have promised that we will answer questions with this game.
Nice.
Questions that people really want answers to.
Yeah. So we're gonna answer all the questions.
Nice. Every single one.
Every single one, like life, universe, everything.
Like
Every
where do
single
babies
question.
come from? Why is
Not
the
that
sky
one.
blue?
Good God, you're on live TV, man. Not where babies come from. What are you thinking?
Oh God, such a fool. I already know where babies come from.
The storks.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Now you know.
All right. So, like, if you haven't played the first Dreamfall game, how easy is it going to be to jump in to the sequel?
We're gonna have a questionnaire at the beginning that says, "Have you played the previous games?" No, then go play it. No, it's gonna be really easy to jump in. We are actually doing an interactive graphic novel that we're gonna publish before the game comes out to introduce people and refresh the story in people's minds. The game is gonna start with a sort of a previously on Dreamfall thing, and we're also integrating sort of the story into the start of the game, so the characters sort of like talk about where they are at and where the story is at. It's a game that's of course made for fans of the series, but it's a game that is also very friendly to new players.
Nice.
We also actually did quite a cool thing on Twitch where we streamed live a full playthrough of Dreamfall.
Dreamfall, yeah. 10.5 hours.
10.5 hours.
Starting at 6 in the afternoon and going until like 4:30 in the morning. That was hardcore.
So people can get into it. People who used to or did play the game, but then maybe have forgotten some parts of the story.
Yeah.
Just to get into it. But our main goal is to create every single character that you meet in the game, sort of be able to stand on his or her own 2 feet when it comes to story. We're going to introduce them well and make sure that everybody gets a really good adventure experience from the game.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And I'd just like to take a moment to remind folks watching at home that if you're in the chat room and you have questions for these guys, feel free to ask them. Once again, don't be a dick though. Yeah, go ahead and ask away. And in the meantime, you guys have a little bit of gameplay footage to show us.
We do
right?
have a little bit of gameplay footage. I think it was actually on a little bit before this.
Yeah.
It's part of our prototype. I mean, we just concluded our Kickstarter a couple of weeks ago, and of course we have been working on a prototype. So what you're gonna see is basically the result of a couple of weeks' work. But you know, we are actually going to talk about a couple of new things today. We're gonna give you guys some exclusive new information, and we're gonna show you a little bit of a dialogue with one of the characters in the game.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, that's awesome that you guys are showing such an early build, because I think a lot of people are afraid to get their product out there when it's fresh and there's still flaws.
Yep.
Like they're worried about like people judging it and thinking it's gonna be the final product. So.
We're willing to take that risk. We know people out there know this is early, and we're actually proud of the quality of what we have so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we told our backers and the whole community that we would be very transparent when it comes to developing the game.
And this is transparent.
This is transparent. Like this is a really really early thin slice of the game. But yeah, it's out there, and we can take a look at it.
Nice.
afterwards.
Now before we get into this, I'm just curious. Like, so taking this to Kickstarter, like as game developers, like what, like this has got to be like the the big dream, right? Like now people are funding you directly to make your game.
It's amazing.
All right.
It's just being able to go out there and say, hey guys, we have a game, and you know, give us the money.
Yeah.
Do you trust us? Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that people are just willing to say, yes, take my money. We know you guys are gonna make a great game. Yeah, it's a fantastic thing. We're actually still sort of running. Even though the Kickstarter is over, we're still sort of doing PayPal things in terms of
so you can still
help the game
Nice.
reach its next few goals. Like we reached 1.5 million, but we still had like a few goals to go.
You still gotta buy sandwiches and pay bills, right?
Yeah.
But it's so much fun to see how the community has sort of received us and how they look at the game. Like when the community is talking about the game, they're talking about our game. They're using the word "our."
They are, yeah.
They are
Nice.
so big part of the whole development and feel.
That's great.
And that's how we want it to be.
Excellent.
And it's wonderful. So hi to everybody that's out there.
Thank you.
I recognize some of the names on in the chat there.
Yeah.
They're all here for you guys, just to show support and love for you. Do you feel a lot more pressure because of that, and like, or obligation?
Yes.
Like
Of
you're
course.
like, this
Yeah,
game
yeah.
has to be perfect now because
It's
you're-
scary.
And
It's-
a lot of them know where we live as well.
Uh-oh.
They have our address. They've been there. No, it is.
It's your parents, isn't it?
That's actually, I don't even check if my parents, they said they were going to put money into it. I'm going to go check afterwards to see mom and dad. If you didn't put money in, I'm going to be
Mom and
really
dad.
upset.
Oh,
Yeah.
No idea
Like they
why.
need to give you any. They raised you. They.
It's still cash,
you
man. Cash.
cash
That's what we
money.
need, yeah.
You're gonna be over there doing laundry this weekend and be
Probably,
like,
yeah.
Mom, Dad, what? I thought you were gonna help me make this game.
Probably, yeah.
Give me 20
yeah,
bucks.
Yeah. We're going to suffer for this.
No. So let's check out some of this footage.
Sure.
Let's get into it, man. Let's do this.
Let's
rock.
do this.
All right. So, oh wait, where's the game now? Doctor, technical. Come on in here. I gotta.
Should probably be
It's
down
right-
there, like
is
that.
that it?
Yeah.
Is this it? This little.
We don't have a special icon to go with it, so that's the
There we
game.
go. All right. So here we are in the game. I'll let you. One of you guys
I'll
drive.
grab the mouse and do a little bit. So the camera is a little bit sensitive right now, so I just have to be a little bit careful with
We
it.
just won't call it any names.
So this is this is of course early stuff, and this is the location in a place called Acropolis, which is one of our big locations in the game. Now, this location is actually pretty huge. You can walk around, you can explore it, you can do stuff in any order you want, you know, in certain chapters of the game, and you know it gives that sort of freedom of exploration that adventure games need.
It's really important for us to not to stress the player, that they can, if they want to take time and just dive into this deep city, they are allowed to, and that we're not stressing them in any way.
So right now we're trying to get into this this building in Acropolis,
Nice.
and part of the challenge here is basically to find a way to get into this place called what's it called again? 1001 Dreams.
1001 Dreams.
Yeah. So at this point of the story, we have sort of a mission to get in here, and you know, again, the environment is very interactive. There's a lot of stuff you can look at, interact with, and this is a game that doesn't have any combat, of course. So this game is based more on story and characters and situations like this. And dialogue is one of the big things here. Hopefully the sound from the game is working here, so we can actually have a little conversation with this fella right here.
Nice. So you can just kind of decide how you want to approach anything, right?
You can, and there's a lot of freedom here in terms of interacting with things, in terms of looking at
Are you
things.
talking to that robot or kissing the robot?
I'm trying to talk with it actually. So yeah, it's this is of course always the danger of running prototypes. It's actually getting the conversation to start here.
It
Nice.
usually works better if we actually quickly quit the client and then restart it, and it
Okay.
always
Well, we
almost
can-
always work.
Yeah.
Is that
We
a
can make
possibility?
it-
Is that okay?
Yeah, here I can make that happen. Like we said, this is alpha build, right?
This
Or
is
is it
not
pre-alpha?
no, this is way
just like
before.
oh
It's
no,
working,
because
it's
we don't
working.
even
Let's,
have to do it. Let's talk to robots.
So basically, right now we only have the voice for the robot, and Zoe's voice is not here. But basically, we're talking to a maintenance bot here, and this is one of the interesting characters you're gonna meet in the game. The maintenance bot basically has the personality of a 6-year-old child, and the reason for that is been hacked. It's been sort of made to do tasks that it wasn't programmed to do. So it has this really cool personality that is sort of both sort of heartbreaking and fun at the same time. So this is just one of the many characters that you get to meet in the game, and And yeah, we have such a huge gallery of interesting characters, and of course, conversations is a big part of this game. We're building a lot of interactivity and choices into the dialogues. And one thing we haven't really talked about before that we're sort of, revealing today is the sort of social hooks in this game, because this game is about making choices. There are dramatic beats, there are emotional beats in the game where your choice is going to matter, which is going to affect how the destiny and fate of some of the characters in the game and some of the situations in the game. And we want people to be able to share that. We don't want that to be an isolated thing. We want people to actually feel like they can be part of a larger community playing this game. So we are creating hooks in the games to allow people to not only share their choices with the world, but also see what are your friends doing, what are the choices your friends made. It really is about
social engagement.
Yeah, social engagement in a solo player setting.
Within the fantasy realm.
Yeah, exactly. And sort of like, I mean, this game, of course, is a single player game, but we want the experience to be, broader than that. We worked a lot of multiplayer games, and we know how important it is for people to be able to share that experience. So that's what we're doing. We're building a game where there are strong moments, beats in the story where there are dramatic consequences to what you're doing, and where that is something that will be sort of a discussion point with your and other people playing the game.
So you kind of want people to like hang out and play the game together and make decisions as a group, almost like to decide. So it's almost like we're watching an interactive movie and
exactly.
and creating our story as we go.
Yeah, exactly. And you're sort of part of a community of people playing the game, whether you're playing the game through Steam or you're playing the game on, we're hopefully going on consoles with this game. So, whether you're voice chatting with somebody playing the game or you're basically talking about it the next day or, doing the share to Facebook thing. It's all about creating this sort of shared experience. Of course, the game is about engaging and wrapping yourself in this world and in the story, but it's also about like talking to other people about what are the choices you made. How does that affect your
Just
experience?
having that conversation with another person, like, why did you make that choice? Well, I made it because blah blah blah, and you might have made the other choice for some completely different reason. And there are no wrong choices, but creating these kind of like user stories, like being able to chat with somebody about these really important choices, we think is a great way to go with a game like this.
Now, Telltale Games has had a lot of success with narrative-driven titles, especially like most notably like The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
obviously. Has their success inspired you guys, or have you looked at that at all and learned anything from
Absolutely. I mean, we had talks with the Telltale guys, and we really respect what they're doing, and I think they're doing some fantastic work in storytelling. I mean, their approach is very different from ours. Not when they are focused on sort of that decision making and sharing it as well, but their stories are slightly different. They're very directed. While we're sort of opening that up and giving players a little bit more freedom to roam. We're giving people these large and extensive game spaces that open up and really where the sort of pace is set by the players. So that's the major difference, but I think what they're doing is spectacular, and we're trying to learn as much as possible from what they're doing.
Definitely. And I mean our game will also have these points where that everybody needs to share, right? So there are these points in the story where everybody comes together, but it's also important, we think, for our game at least, to give them these spaces where the game sort of opens up. The game tells the player that relax, you can now go and explore and do your own things. And we've always said that we wanted to reward curiosity. Like if you walk down an alley, you might find some interesting lore there or meet a character. It might not be crucial for like the main storyline, but it might shed some light to it, or sort of make you look at the already existing lore in a different way. So we want to reward curiosity. We want to allow the players to roam around and experience this really immersive world.
Take their time, no rush. Really enjoy the game, dive into it. Nice.
Exactly. But of course there are points where the drama ramps up and where there's danger, where there's stuff going on. We're not talking quick time events or combat or anything like that, but there's a real drive for the story to continue. And of course we have that too, but we want people to take a breather and actually be able to enjoy the world, because our worlds are so immersive and so deep, so complex and so beautiful. I mean, we think the game looks fantastic, and this is like a few weeks of work, and we have another year and a half to go.
Nice. Let's see. Astrub wants to know: will running themes throughout the story change slightly depending on what choices you make?
There will be differences in the fates of certain characters and how people respond to you. I mean, obviously we are sort of concluding a story that's also in a way sort of the destiny of Zoe. So some major beats are not going to be affected, but the details of it, how it flows, and especially the fate of certain characters in the game is closely tied to what you do. And without spoiling anything, I think it's fair to say that some of the choices you make are going to be heartbreaking. They're going to be tough. You're going to have to make choices that might kill people.
Kill people you care about.
Let the speculation begin.
Let the speculation begin, yeah.
Who's going to live and who's going to die.
Exactly.
What a twist. All right. Let's see. So you guys are still quite a way out.
November 2014, yeah, so we still got a year and a half to go on this, so quite a way out, yeah.
Nice. And you're looking to release on PC and consoles?
PC, Mac, Linux, first off, we are in discussions regarding console versions. We're really, of course, interested in PlayStation 4 and what they're doing there, so we're having some discussions. We are looking at tablets as well, but that will be further along. iPad, Android tablets, it'll happen a little bit later.
Nice.
Yeah.
Much like the game that will be in the future.
Exactly.
All right. And if people want to keep up with your progress and follow what you guys are doing, where can they go?
They can go to our website at redthreadgames.com or dreamfallchapters.com.
Or you can also pre-purchase the game.
Yeah, you can go to our website and basically just join the pledge, one of the pledgers, and you'll be able to then get the newsletters and follow up. And follow us on Twitter. We're everywhere. We're sharing a lot of information. Yeah.
A lot of fun is going on at theundreaming.com, our forum. So people should head over there and check it out. It's a fun crowd.
All right, and one last question: will there be beanies in the games?
Of course, there will be
that
beanies.
question is for me. I usually wear a beanie. And yes, there will be.
This counts as a hat
for everyone.
All right, and do you guys have any sort of idea of how big the world map is going to be yet?
Pretty sizable. Like this location in Acropolis, you can wander around here for an hour and find new stuff all the time. And this is just one of many locations in the game, so it's going to be pretty sizable.
Sweet. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming by and showing us the game.
Thank you.
It is always a very flattering move to have somebody come and show you their pre-alpha build.
Pre-alpha.
I feel special. I feel like elite now.
Yeah, you guys got like a first look at a lot of stuff.
All right.
It's pretty
Well,
cool.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We're more than happy to. Stick around. We're not done. We got even more coming up for you. I think what do we have next? War of the Roses next? All right, we got War of the Roses coming up next here on Evolve's GDC 2013 live stream. And stick around. You totally want to. And once again, the mouse has decided that it doesn't like me. Alt what? I can't hear you. Oh, okay, I'm so smart. I am obviously a technical. Oh, that's not tab. What?
How do you think it's going?
I'm learning how to use a computer for the first time here, in front of everybody.
It's okay. Typewriters are cool too.
No, nothing's working for me. I'm failing. I really failed.
Type Windows key. Alt tab.
It's probably our game.
No Windows key.
It's a complicated. Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
I did it. I figured out how to use a computer, and with that, I shall remove my shame from the internet. No one can now see me shaming myself.